Hi there, so today I just want to go over ring stackers with you. Just have a quick look at some of the ring stackers that are available and talk through some of the things that you can do with them. So ring stackers are a great toy to use with your child. They can be used for so many different things. You can use them for the release element if you're working on getting your child to release a toy. You can use them to work on hand-eye coordination with the actual putting them on the pole. It may be something that you use to work up to doing more complicated things such as threading. You can use them for ready, steady, go. You can use them for turn taking. They put one ring on, you put one ring on, they put one ring on. So they can be used for lots of different things, and they're just a great general midline play toy that you can get them playing with both their hands, sat down, focusing on that activity. So you can get lots of different types of ring stackers. I think the ones you probably see the most are these ones, the plastic ones. Now these are great because these actually have a really big central core that you put your rings onto, which means your rings have a really nice big hole in them, so it's a bit easier for your child to get them on. They're not quite so precise, and when they do go on they tend to slip on quite easily. You do also get the wooden variety like this one. Now with this particular wooden one, not only is it not quite as, the rings don't slide on quite as easy as they do on the plastic, it's a much smaller pole and therefore a much smaller hole that you're looking. So this is sort of closer to that threading element of getting the hand-eye coordination. It's much more deliberate, and your child's got to be much more precise in actually getting that ring on. And with each subsequent one, the rings, you know, it's very precise to put it on there. So this one I would say is probably going to be more difficult than the plastic one if you're just starting out on ring stacking. Now you can use things that you have at home. So for instance, this is just simply a pole that would normally have something like kitchen roll on it, and I've just got here a couple of big wooden bangles, so nice big holes in the bangles, a really small pole that it's going onto, nice and easy. So this is actually a really good starter for ring stacking even prior to the plastic ones, because there's, you know, lots of leeway for getting it on there and it's really easy. And because these are nice and chunky, they're easy for your child to get hold of, and they're easy for you to do hand over hand if you need to do that for the release element with your child. Of course you can use all different things to put on here. It could be bangles. You could even get curtain rings and put smaller curtain rings on if you wanted to make it more difficult, or even a slinky that could be used to go on there. So there's lots of different things you can probably find at home to use to get the same effect and the same element as ring stacking if you don't have a ring stacker. So if you have got one of these ring stackers, there's a couple of ways you could start with it if your child's not doing any ring stacking, or if they're struggling with their release technique. You could have all of the rings on bar one, and you could get them to put the last one on and do hand over hand, or you could put all of the rings away to start with and just work with the one ring, the first ring, and just get them to hold it, and then if need be you do hand over hand release to drop it on there until they're actually putting it on and doing it themselves independently. And then once they've done that, you could perhaps introduce more rings for them to do. As I said, you could use it as a ready, steady, go game. So if your child enjoys the watching the rings go on, then you can do it, and you can do the ready, steady, get them to say go or look at you for go, and then pop the ring on. Or even if they want to hold the ring and they're waiting to put it on until you say go as a game. So it, you know, it could still be used for things like ready, steady, go. And again, the turn taking, your child puts one ring on, you put one ring on, they put one ring on, and so on. So there are lots of ways that it can be used. As I say, there's so many varieties out there. It's finding which one is right for your child and which one your child prefers, but also remembering that if they've got quite a thin pole with quite a small hole in the ring, they're going to be that much more difficult for your child. So if your child's just starting out, maybe look for one that's got either a bigger pole with larger holes, or look for a thinner pole but look for something bigger that they can put on it to start with. So you may have this wooden one and you may think that this is too difficult for your child to do straight away. So you could use the base, find something bigger at home that you've got to put on it, and you could use that to start with and get them doing it with that, and then gradually work up to them actually using the smaller hold rings on there. So there are lots of ways you can use these, and even if you haven't got a plastic one and it's a small wooden one, you can still use it to build up those small steps to actually completing the ring stacker. So that's just a quick look at a ring stacker, what you can do with it, what types are out there. I hope that's given you some ideas to either revitalise using a ring stacker you haven't used for a while, or if you're just starting out with ring stacking with your child, giving you some ideas on where you could possibly start or what you could do with things you've already got. So I hope that helps, and as always, if you have any videos of your children doing ring stacking or pictures to share with us, we'd love to see them.